Hey guys, it's Laura from Front Office Rocks. Thanks for checking out the latest video. And as you can tell, I'm not at home filming in San Diego, California. I'm actually completely across the country in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm speaking tonight for an amazing endodontic and periodontic practice who have over 240 people coming to see me speak. They have this event every year as a thank you event for their general dentist, referring dentists. So I'm excited to be in Pittsburgh, but I didn't want to not record my video for today. So I wanted to address a question that I got from one of our clients, which was regarding communication to patients. Like, when should we send letters to patients? Now, I'm going to start by talking about letters versus emails. I know that there are some still old school people out there who like to send letters, like to open letters, like to get cards. That's totally fine. And I'm not saying old school is bad by any means. I love, getting mail. However, when talking about communication to patients, I would also weigh in their emails, that we can communicate either via regular mail or via email, and it probably depends more on the type of communication that you want to send, what it is you're sending to the patient, to decide if you're going to send an email or a letter. The second thing to consider is the cost of it. So if you're sending a lot of mail out, if you're sending a newsletter, for example, you've got to weigh the cost of sending it in mail, right, and printing it and sending it to patients versus sending it in email. And a lot depends on what your outcome is, what it is you want to get from whatever you're sending. So first deciding, do you need to send an email or do you need to send a letter? Now, when it comes to communication and what it is you need to send or should send to patients, here's some of my recommendations. First, I would say you want to send a welcome letter or a welcome email, or maybe both. So when a new patient comes to your practice, I think that's super classy. I think it's great for the patient. It helps them decide they've made the right decision by scheduling with your practice. Now, my thought is initially you send a welcome email. The welcome email, you would send that because you want it to reach the patient before they come to the appointment, help them get more information about their first appointment with you, how to find your office, if you want them to fill out paperwork ahead of time. So as soon as they schedule, a welcome email should be sent directly to the patient. And with automation now and technology, you can get this set up so it happens automatically. But I think that's super important and super good thing to do. You also may want to send a welcome letter to the patient, but just know that that's not going to probably reach the patient before they've come to for their first appointment. So a welcome email or a welcome letter would be more of just like, welcome to the practice, and we're so glad you're a patient of ours. Maybe tell them a little bit about the practice and about your employees or whatever it is you want to do. Do you need to send a welcome letter? Not necessarily. That's completely up to you, but definitely a welcome email. Excuse me. The next thing that I would suggest is that you communicate with them on their birthday. So either sending them a card, which is great, but also might be time consuming and expensive. I would suggest that you send a birthday email. However, don't send the email if it's just going to be some bland, plain thing that they also get from their insurance agent, their dry cleaner, and their lawyer, or whoever, their chiropractor. Send something that stands out. So I suggest you make a video. You say, happy birthday, or you take a picture with your team. We have a picture holding a cake and holding up balloons. Something that's gonna remind them how amazing you guys are, something that's going to stand out, and something they may actually show somebody else to say, hey, look how cool my dentist is. They sent me a birthday video or a birthday email. That's something that you can shoot in your office one day and then use it the whole year for all of your emails going out to your patients. So do something to make it, special, customized for your patients. The next thing that you should consider sending to your patients is if there's something personalized to them. Maybe a big thing that happened in their life. They just had a baby, or they had a loss in the family, or they got a promotion, something like that. Now that I think should be personalized. Either a personalized email from you or your team or somebody on your team, or a card in the mail or a letter in the mail, something that says, you know, we're sorry to hear about your loss, or congratulations on the new baby. I think that goes a super long way. I think a card is great for that. You could have a stock of cards right in the office, and if you hear something about a patient, put somebody in charge of grabbing the card and writing a note and throwing it in the mail. So I think that's a super nice touch that you for sure can do. The other thing that I think that you need to send is a newsletter, or can send. I shouldn't say you have to, but can send is a newsletter. And I'm going to talk about that in a whole different video. The kind of things that you send in newsletters, what you should advertise or put into your newsletter. Again, deciding if it should be print or email really just depends on, you know, your cost, how many patients you're sending it to. I think that emails get read just as much as a mail newsletter would, you know, something that's mailed would get read. So that's really just kind of up to you and what kind of impression you want to give your patients. But I think that you should, or I suggest mailing, you know, or sending something out on a regular basis to your patients, and a newsletter is great for that. And then, and like I said, I'll do a separate video on that. And then the last thing is going to be a dismissal letter. Unfortunately, we do have to dismiss some of our patients. I'm going to do a separate video on that too, because I don't think that every dismissal that you have, every patient that you're letting go of needs a letter. But there are some that I suggest that you do the official letter that says, you know, we're no longer going to be able to take care of you. We'll be here for you for emergency care, and thank you. But it's time to find a new dentist. So that would be something else that you would want to communicate in some cases. So look for my other video on that. I'm going to talk about that next. So hopefully that helps. Those are my basic things that I would say you want to communicate to patients. You want to be in front of them. You want to reach out to them a couple times a year for things, you know, birthday or a newsletter or whatever it is. And maybe even one other thing, actually, I'm just thinking about this now, is thank yous. So if they've referred to your practice, to send them a thank you. And that again could be a quick little email. You don't have to do anything official or formal. You can send a card, of course, that would be great. But you want to make sure that you recognize them for referring patients to your practice. So I hope that helps. Subscribe for more ideas. Like I said, I'm going to talk about newsletters. I'm going to talk about dismissal letters in the next one. So make sure you subscribe, hit the little notification bell so that you get notifications when new videos come out. And thank you for joining me in Pittsburgh. Go Ravens, even though I'm in Pittsburgh, I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan. So if you're a Steelers fan, don't put any comments on here. Be a Ravens fan. And again, thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you on the next video. And make sure you subscribe, and also follow me on Facebook and Instagram and all the other fun platforms. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.